Marina Valles was tired. Not the kind of tired you fix with sleep. The kind that lives in your bones after pulling double shifts 6 days straight. She was 23 years old and still wearing the same black sneakers she bought 2 years ago. The soles were thin now. Her feet hurt every night. But rent was due in 5 days and tips had been slow all week. The restaurant was called Costello's. It sat on the corner of 5th Avenue in Manhattan, all dark wood and low lighting. Rich people came here. The kind who didn't look at you when they ordered. Marina had been waiting tables here for 8 months. She was good at it. Quiet. Fast. Invisible. That's how she liked it. Tonight was busy. Friday night always was. Marina moved between tables with her notepad, smiling when she had to, writing down orders, bringing out plates of pasta that cost more than her weekly grocery bill. Then he walked in. Luciano Ferrano. Everyone knew who he was. You didn't work at Costello's without knowing. He owned the whole chain. 10 restaurants across New York. Maybe more. But that wasn't why people were scared of him. People were scared because of what he really did. Marina had heard the whispers. In the kitchen. In the back hallways. Luciano Ferrano wasn't just a restaurant owner. He was connected. The kind of connected that made cops look the other way and made grown men stutter when he walked past. He never smiled. Never raised his voice. He didn't have to. Tonight he sat in the corner booth. Alone. A folder sat on the table in front of him. His suit was black. Expensive. His hair was dark and slicked back. His jaw was sharp enough to cut glass. Marina tried not to stare. Table 12 needs water, Carlos whispered as he passed her. He was another waiter. Older. He'd been here 5 years. Don't mess it up. Marina nodded. She grabbed a pitcher and walked over. Her hands didn't shake. She'd trained herself for that. She poured the water without spilling a drop. Luciano didn't look up. He was reading something. Numbers. Columns of them. Anything else, sir? She asked. Her voice was steady. No. She turned to leave. But then she saw it. The receipt on the edge of the table. It was facing her. Just for a second. And the numbers were wrong. Marina hesitated. She shouldn't say anything. It wasn't her business. But her brain had always been like this. Good with numbers. Too good. She saw patterns where other people saw nothing. The total didn't match. Not even close. She bit her lip. Turn back. Excuse me, sir. Luciano looked up. His eyes were dark. They locked onto hers and for a moment Marina forgot how to breathe. The receipt, she said quietly. She pointed, careful not to touch anything. The total. It's off. He didn't move. Didn't blink. By how much? His voice was low. Smooth. The kind of voice that made you think of dark rooms and closed doors. About 15,000, Marina said. The numbers don't add up right. Luciano's jaw tightened. He picked up the receipt. Studied it. Then his eyes came back to her. Slower this time. Like he was seeing her for the first time. Marina felt her chest tighten. Something was wrong. He stood up. Broad shoulders. He didn't say a word. Just stared at her. Hard. Then he leaned in. Close enough that she could smell his cologne. Something expensive. Something dangerous. Come with me, he said. His voice was quiet. Controlled. Yow. Marina's heart slammed against her ribs. I'm working, she stammered. Not anymore. He didn't wait for an answer. He turned and walked toward the back of the restaurant. Past the kitchen. Past the storage room. Toward the private office that no one was allowed in. Marina stood frozen. Carlos was staring at her from across the room. His eyes were wide. She should run. She should walk out the front door and never come back. But her feet moved anyway. She followed him. The hallway was narrow. Dim. Her sneakers squeaked on the tile. Luciano pushed open the office door and stepped inside. Marina stopped at the doorway. Come in, he said. It wasn't a request. She stepped inside. The door clicked shut behind her. The office was bigger than she expected. A desk. A leather chair. A window overlooking the street. And 2 men standing in the corner. Big men. The kind who didn't smile. Luciano sat on the edge of the desk. He folded his arms. His eyes never left her. What's your name? Marina, she whispered. Marina. He said it slowly. Like he was tasting it. You know what you just did? She shook her head. That receipt wasn't a mistake, Luciano said. His voice was calm. Too calm. It was a code. A message. Meant only for me. Marina's stomach dropped. I didn't know. I know you didn't. He tilted his head. But you saw it. You understood it. And now you're a problem. Her throat went dry. I won't say anything, she said quickly. I swear. I'll forget I ever saw it. Please. I just... Stop. She stopped. Luciano stood. Walked closer. He was so tall she had to tilt her head back to look at him. You're smart, he said quietly. Too smart. And now you've seen something you weren't supposed to see. Marina's legs felt weak. I'm sorry, she whispered. Luciano stared at her for a long moment. Then slowly his expression changed. Not quite a smile. But something close. Don't be, he said. You just became useful. Marina didn't understand. What do you mean? Luciano turned and walked to the window. He looked out at the street below. The lights. The people. The city that never stopped moving. You're coming with me, he said. Starting tonight. You work for me now. What? He glanced back at her. His eyes were sharp. Final. You'll understand soon enough. Marina wanted to argue. Wanted to run. But something in his voice told her that running wouldn't matter. He'd already decided. And when Luciano Ferrano decided something, it happened. He was in his world now. And there was no way out. Marina sat in the back of the car and tried not to panic. The leather seats were soft. Too soft. The windows were tinted so dark she couldn't see outside. And the two men from the office sat across from her, arms crossed, faces blank. Luciano sat next to her. Close. Too close. He wasn't looking at her. He was staring at his phone, scrolling through something she couldn't see. Where are we going? Marina asked. Her voice came out smaller than she wanted. Somewhere safe, Luciano said. He didn't look up. Safe for who? He glanced at her then. Just for a second. His eyes were unreadable. For you. For now. Marina's hands were shaking. She pressed them into her lap. She wanted to ask more questions. Wanted to demand answers. But the look on his face told her to stay quiet. So she did. The car moved through the city. Marina could feel every turn. Every stop. She counted them in her head. 12 blocks. Maybe 15. Then the car slowed and pulled into an underground parking garage. The door opened. Out, one of the men said. Marina climbed out. Her legs felt wobbly. The garage was cold. Empty. Just concrete and shadows and the hum of fluorescent lights overhead. Luciano walked ahead. Fast. Marina had to jog to keep up. They went through a metal door, down a hallway and into an elevator. No one spoke. The elevator went up. And up. And up. When the doors opened, Marina stepped into a room that didn't look real. Floor-to-ceiling windows. A view of the entire city. Leather couches. A bar in the corner. Everything was black and silver and expensive. Sit, Luciano said. Marina sat on the edge of the couch. She didn't know where else to go. Luciano poured himself a drink. Whiskey. No ice. He took a sip and turned to face her. You want to know what's happening, he said. It wasn't a question. Marina nodded. Luciano set the glass down. He pulled the receipt from his pocket. The one she'd corrected. He laid it on the table between them. These numbers, he said. You thought they were a mistake. They were, Marina said. The total was wrong. They weren't a total. Luciano's voice was flat. They were coordinates. Marina blinked. Coordinates. Latitude and longitude. Hidden inside a fake receipt. He tapped the paper. Someone in my organization sent this to me. A warning. A location where something is about to happen. Marina's mouth went dry. Something bad, she whispered. A betrayal. Luciano's jaw tightened. Someone on the inside is working against me. They've been selling information. Moving product without permission. And whoever sent this message was trying to tell me where the next drop is happening. Marina stared at the numbers. They looked so ordinary. Just a list of prices and a total. But now she saw it. The way they were arranged. The spacing. The pattern. Why didn't they just tell you? She asked. Because they don't know who to trust, Luciano said. If they sent it any other way, the leak would know. So they hid it in plain sight. In a place only I would see. Marina's stomach twisted. But I saw it. Exactly. Luciano leaned forward. His eyes locked onto hers. You weren't supposed to notice. No one was. It was meant for me. But you're too smart for your own good. Marina felt cold all over. So now what? She asked. You're going to kill me because I saw something I wasn't supposed to? Luciano didn't answer right away. He just stared at her. Like he was deciding. Then he smiled. Just a little. It didn't reach his eyes. No, he said. I'm going to use you. Use me. Marina's voice cracked. For what? You spotted a code that took my best people months to set up, Luciano said. You did it in 10 seconds. Without even trying. He stood. Walked to the window. The city lights stretched out below him like a blanket of stars. Whoever is betraying me thinks they're smart, he said. They think they've covered their tracks. But they didn't expect you. Marina shook her head. I don't understand. Luciano turned back to her. You're going to help me find them, he said. You're going to look at every number. Every receipt. Every message that comes through my business. And you're going to tell me what doesn't add up. Marina's heart was pounding. I'm a waitress, she said. I don't know anything about this. I don't know how your world works. You don't need to, Luciano said. You just need to do what you did tonight. See what no one else sees. Marina wanted to say no. Wanted to walk out. But she knew she couldn't. She'd seen too much. What if I say no? She asked quietly. Luciano's face went hard. Then you become a loose end, he said. And I don't leave loose ends. The room went silent. Marina felt tears burn behind her eyes. But she didn't let them fall. Okay, she whispered. I'll do it. Luciano nodded. Like he knew she would. Good, he said. You start tomorrow. He walked to the elevator. Pressed the button. The doors opened. Angelo will take you home, he said. One of the men from earlier stepped forward. Get some sleep. You're going to need it. Marina stood. Her legs felt shaky. But she walked to the elevator. She didn't look back. As the doors closed, she caught one last glimpse of Luciano standing by the window. Alone. Staring out at the city like a king looking over his kingdom. And Marina realized something that made her chest ache. She wasn't just in his world now. He was part of it. And there was no going back. Marina didn't sleep that night. Angelo drove her home in silence. He pulled up outside her apartment building in Queens. The brick was old. The paint was peeling. It wasn't much, but it was hers. Wait here, Angelo said. He got out first. Looked around. Then nodded at her. Go. Marina climbed out of the car. Her legs felt heavy. She walked up the steps to the front door, her keys shaking in her hand. When she looked back, Angelo was still watching. Arms crossed. Face blank. She went inside. Her apartment was on the 3rd floor. One bedroom. A couch that sagged in the middle. A kitchen the size of a closet. But it was quiet. Safe. Or it used to be. Marina locked the door behind her. Then locked it again. He checked the windows. Pulled the curtains shut. Sat on the edge of her bed and stared at the wall. What had she gotten herself into? She thought about calling someone. Her mom. Her best friend Sophia. But what would she even say? Hey, I accidentally saw a secret Mafia code and now a crime boss owns me. Yeah. That would go over great. Marina lay back on the bed. Closed her eyes. But every time she did, she saw Luciano's face. Those cold, dark eyes. That calm voice. You work for me now. She didn't want this. Any of it. By the time the sun came up, Marina had made a decision. She was leaving. Not just the job. The city. Everything. She'd pack a bag, get on a bus and disappear. Go to her cousin in Toronto. Or maybe Miami. Somewhere far. Somewhere Luciano Ferrano would never find her. She pulled out her old duffel bag and started throwing clothes inside. Jeans. Shirts. Her toothbrush. She didn't have much. That made it easier. Her phone buzzed. A text. Unknown number. Car will pick you up at 9 a.m. Don't be late. L. Marina stared at the screen. Her hands started shaking. Oh. She wasn't doing this. She shoved the phone in her pocket, zipped up the bag and headed for the door. But when she opened it, Angelo was standing there. Marina gasped. Step back. Going somewhere? He asked. His voice was flat. No emotion. I was just. Boss wants to see you. I can't, Marina said. Her voice cracked. I can't do this. Tell him I'm sorry. Tell him I won't say anything. I just want to go home. Angelo tilted his head. You are home. No. I mean my real home. My family. I want to leave the city. Angelo didn't move. Just stared at her with those empty eyes. Get in the car, he said. No. Marina. His voice got quieter. Colder. Get in the car. Marina's chest tightened. She wanted to slam the door. Run. But she knew it wouldn't matter. So she grabbed her bag. And followed him. The car took her back to the same building. The same garage. The same elevator. But this time when the doors opened, Luciano was waiting. He stood by the window. Same black suit. Same unreadable face. But something was different. He looked tired. Like he hadn't slept either. You tried to run, he said. Not a question. Marina dropped her bag on the floor. I don't want this life. I didn't ask for any of this. I know. Then let me go. Luciano turned to face her. His eyes were hard. But not angry. Something else. Something that almost looked like regret. I can't. Why not? Marina's voice rose. I won't tell anyone. I swear. I'll disappear. You'll never hear from me again. It's not that simple. Yes, it is. Marina took a step forward. You let me go. I leave. That's it. No. Luciano's voice cut through the room like a knife. That's not it. He walked toward her. Slow. Steady. Marina wanted to back away. But her feet wouldn't move. You think you can just walk away? Luciano said. You think they won't notice? Who? The people who sent that code. Luciano stopped in front of her. Close enough that she could see the gold flecks in his dark eyes. The ones who are betraying me. The ones who are watching everything I do. Marina's stomach dropped. They saw you last night, Luciano continued. They saw me take you out of the restaurant. They saw me bring you here. And now they're wondering why. So tell them the truth, Marina said. Tell them I didn't know what I saw. That I'm nobody. They won't believe that. Luciano's jaw tightened. Because the moment you corrected those numbers you became someone. Someone who saw what they didn't want anyone to see. Marina felt cold all over. They'll assume you decoded it on purpose, Luciano said. His voice was calm. Too calm. They'll assume you're working with me now. That you know too much. But I don't know anything. It doesn't matter what you know. Luciano leaned in. His voice dropped to a whisper. It matters what they think you know. Marina's breath caught in her throat. What are you saying? Luciano stared at her for a long moment. Then he said the words that made her blood run cold. If you walk home tonight they will follow you. And they will not miss twice. Marina felt the room spin. Twice, she whispered. Luciano didn't answer. He didn't have to. Someone had already tried. When? Marina's voice cracked. When did they? Last night. Luciano's face was stone. After Angelo dropped you off. There was a car parked 2 blocks down. They followed you to your building. Waited until you went inside. Marina's legs went weak. He stumbled back. Luciano caught her arm. Steady. Strong. Why didn't they? Marina couldn't finish the sentence. Because I had men watching you, Luciano said. The moment they moved my guys moved faster. Marina looked up at him. Her heart was pounding so hard she thought it might break through her ribs. You saved me, she whispered. I protected an asset, Luciano said. But his grip on her arm was gentle. Almost careful. Marina pulled away. She wrapped her arms around herself. Tried to breathe. So what now? She asked. I can't go home. I can't leave. What am I supposed to do? Luciano walked back to the window. He looked out at the city. The morning light made his face look softer. Almost human. You stay here, he said. Here. This building. It's secure. Cameras everywhere. Armed guards on every floor. No one gets in without my permission. Marina shook her head. You want me to live here? Like a prisoner. Like someone under protection, Luciano corrected. He turned back to her. Until we find the leak. Until we stop them. You're safest here. For how long? As long as it takes. Marina felt tears burn behind her eyes. But she didn't let them fall. I didn't ask for this, she said again. Quieter this time. I know. Luciano's voice softened. Just a little. But you're here now. And I'm not going to let anything happen to you. Marina looked at him. Really looked at him. This man who terrified everyone. This man who could end lives with a word. And for the first time she saw something she didn't expect. He meant it. Okay, Marina whispered. Okay. Luciano nodded. He walked to the elevator. Pressed the button. Angelo will show you to your room, he said. You'll have everything you need. Food. Clothes. Whatever you want. The elevator doors opened. And Marina? Luciano looked back at her. His eyes were softer now. Almost kind. You're not a prisoner. You're under my protection. There's a difference. The doors closed. And Marina stood alone in that big empty room staring at the city below. She wasn't free. But she was alive. And for now that had to be enough. Marina woke up in a bed that wasn't hers. The sheets were softer than anything she'd ever felt. The room was huge. White walls. A window that looked out over the river. Everything was clean. Perfect. Like a hotel room. But it wasn't a hotel. It was a cage. She sat up. Her body ached. She'd barely slept. Every time she closed her eyes she saw shadows. Heard footsteps. Felt someone watching. Someone had tried to kill her. That thought sat in her chest like a stone. There was a knock on the door. Marina jumped. It's Angelo, a voice called. Breakfast is ready. Marina got dressed. Same jeans from yesterday. Same shirt. She hadn't packed enough clothes when she tried to run. Hadn't expected to still be here. She opened the door. Angelo stood in the hallway. Arms crossed. Face blank as always. Come on, he said. Boss wants you downstairs. Marina followed him down a long hallway. The building was quieter than she expected. No music. No voices. Just the hum of air conditioning and the soft echo of their footsteps. They went down 2 flights of stairs. Through a heavy door. And into a room Marina didn't know existed. Looked like a command center. Monitors covered one wall. 6 of them. Each one showed a different camera feed. The restaurant. The parking garage. The street outside. The lobby. 3 men sat at a long table. Papers spread out in front of them. Maps. Photos. Lists of names Marina didn't recognize. And at the head of the table sat Luciano. He looked up when she walked in. Sit, he said. Marina sat at the far end of the table. As far from everyone else as she could get. One of the men glanced at her. He was older. Maybe 50. Gray hair. Sharp eyes. He looked at Marina like she was something stuck to the bottom of his shoe. This her? The man asked. This is Marina, Luciano said. The man leaned back in his chair. Crossed his arms. She looks like a kid. She's 23, Luciano said. His voice was calm. But there was an edge to it. A warning. The man smirked. And you think she can help us? She already has. The man didn't look convinced. He turned to Marina. You know who I am? Marina shook her head. Rico Santori, he said. I run operations for Mr. Ferrano. Which means if you're here you answer to me. Marina's stomach twisted. She didn't like the way he was looking at her. Like she was a problem he needed to solve. I didn't ask to be here, Marina said quietly. Rico laughed. It wasn't a nice sound. None of us asked to be here, sweetheart. But here we are. Enough, Luciano said. His voice cut through the room like a blade. Rico went quiet. But his eyes stayed on Marina. Luciano stood. He walked to the monitors. Pointed to one of the screens. This is Costello's, he said. The restaurant where you worked. Marina nodded. What do you know about it? Luciano asked. Marina blinked. It's a restaurant. Rich people eat there. You own it. What else? Marina hesitated. That's it. I served tables. Took orders. Went home. Rico snorted. She doesn't know anything. Luciano ignored him. He kept his eyes on Marina. Costello's isn't just a restaurant, he said. It's a front. Marina's chest tightened. A front for what? For moving money, Luciano said. For meetings. 4 transactions that need to happen in plain sight. The restaurant is clean. But what happens behind it isn't. Marina felt her mouth go dry. You mean like, drugs? Drugs. Weapons. Information. Luciano's voice was flat. Matter of fact. Like he was talking about the weather. Costello's is a hub. One of many. And someone inside is using it to betray me. Marina looked at the monitors. The kitchen. The dining room. The back office where she'd followed Luciano that first night. She'd worked there for 8 months. And she'd never seen it. How? Marina asked. How did I not notice? Because you weren't supposed to, Luciano said. Most of the staff don't know. They come in. Do their jobs. Go home. Just like you did. But someone knows, Rico said. He leaned forward. His eyes were cold. Someone on the inside. And they've been selling us out for months. Marina's head was spinning. And you think I can help you find them? You already did, Luciano said. He tapped one of the monitors. That code you saw? It led us to a warehouse in Brooklyn. We got there just in time. In time for what? Luciano didn't answer. But the look on his face told her everything. Someone had died. Marina felt sick. I don't understand, she said. Why would they send you a coded message if they're betraying you? Because not everyone on the inside is dirty, Luciano said. Someone loyal sent that code. Someone who knew about the betrayal but couldn't say it out loud. They were trying to warn me. And now they're dead, Rico said. His voice was hard. Because the leak found out. Marina's hands started shaking. She pressed them into her lap. So what do you want from me? She asked. Luciano pulled out a folder. Slid it across the table toward her. These are financial reports from the restaurant, he said. Receipts. Invoices. Payroll records. Everything from the last 6 months. Marina stared at the folder. You want me to look through these? I want you to find what doesn't fit, Luciano said. The same way you found that code. Look for patterns. Numbers that don't add up. Anything that feels wrong. Marina opened the folder. Pages and pages of numbers. Dates. Transactions. This could take days, she said. Then you better get started. Rico stood up. Walked over to Marina. Leaned down so his face was close to hers. Let me make something clear, he said. His voice was low. Dangerous. I don't trust you. I don't know you. And I don't like having some random waitress in the middle of our business. Marina met his eyes. Her heart was pounding. But she didn't look away. I don't want to be here either, she said. Rico smiled. But it didn't reach his eyes. Good. Then we understand each other. He walked out. The room went quiet. Luciano sat down across from Marina. He looked tired. More tired than before. Don't mind Rico, he said. He doesn't trust anyone. Can you blame him? Marina asked. Someone in your organization is selling you out. Luciano's jaw tightened. No. I can't. Marina looked down at the folder. All those numbers. All those secrets. What happens if I find something? She asked. Then we stop them. And if I don't? Luciano leaned back in his chair. His eyes were dark. Heavy. Then more people die. Marina felt a chill run down her spine. She didn't want this. Didn't want any part of this world. But she was already in it. And people had died because of what she'd seen. Maybe she could stop more from dying. Okay, Marina said. She pulled the folder closer. I'll look. Luciano nodded. He stood to leave. Luciano. Marina's voice was small. Kitten. He stopped. Turn back. Why me? She asked. You could hire someone. Someone who knows this world. Someone better. Luciano stared at her for a long moment. Because you see things no one else sees, he said quietly. And because you're not part of this world. That makes you the only person I can trust right now. He left. And Marina sat alone with a folder full of secrets, wondering how a waitress from Queens ended up holding the key to a war she didn't understand. But she opened the folder anyway. And she started looking. Marina spent 3 days in that room. 3 days staring at numbers until her eyes burned. 3 days drinking cold coffee and eating takeout that Angelo brought her. 3 days trying to find a pattern in the chaos. And then she found it. It was small. So small she almost missed it. A series of payments marked as vendor services. They looked normal, regular, but the amounts were off. Just by a little. A few hundred here, 1,000 there. But when Marina added them up over 6 months, it came to nearly $200,000. Money that went nowhere. She showed Luciano that afternoon. He stood over her shoulder, eyes scanning the pages she'd marked. "You're sure?" he asked. "Positive," Marina said. "These payments don't match any actual vendors. I cross-checked them with your supply invoices. They're fake." Luciano's jaw tightened. He pulled out his phone. Made a call. "Rico. Get in here. Now." 2 minutes later, Rico walked in. He looked at the papers. Then at Marina. "She found something?" 200,000, Luciano said. "Siphoned through fake vendor accounts over the last 6 months." Rico leaned over the table. His face went dark. "Who authorized these payments?" "That's what we need to find out," Luciano said. He pulled up something on one of the monitors. A document. An invoice. Marina squinted at the screen. And then she saw it. A signature at the bottom. Her blood went cold. The handwriting was messy. Rushed. But there was something about it. The way the letters slanted to the right. The sharp angle of the capital letters. The little loop at the end of the name. Marina knew that handwriting. She'd seen it 100 times before. On birthday cards. On notes left on the kitchen table. On letters mailed from different cities when he was trying to make it on his own. Elias. Her brother. Marina felt the room tilt. She gripped the edge of the table to steady herself. No. It couldn't be. Elias had been gone for 3 years. No calls. No texts. No letters. He just disappeared one day. Their mom thought he ran off with some girl. Marina thought he was dead. But here was his handwriting. On a document tied to money laundering. To betrayal. To Luciano Ferrano's syndicate. Marina. She blinked. Luciano was staring at her. "You okay?" he asked. Marina swallowed hard. Her throat felt tight. "Yeah," she said. Her voice came out shaky. "I'm fine." Luciano's eyes narrowed. "You sure?" "Yeah. Just tired." He didn't look convinced. But he turned back to the screen. "Rico, pull the personnel files. I want to know who signed off on these payments. And I want to know who delivered them." Rico nodded. He left the room. Luciano turned back to Marina. He studied her face. Like he was trying to read her. "You recognize this handwriting?" he asked. Marina's heart slammed against her ribs. "No," she said quickly. Too quickly. "Why would I?" Luciano tilted his head. "You looked like you saw a ghost." "I'm just tired," Marina repeated. "I've been staring at papers for 3 days straight." Luciano didn't say anything. Just kept watching her. Those dark eyes saw too much. Finally he nodded. "Get some rest," he said. "You did good work." Marina stood. Her legs felt shaky. She walked toward the door. "Marina." She stopped. Didn't turn around. "If there's something you're not telling me," Luciano said quietly, "now would be the time." Marina's chest tightened. She wanted to tell him. Wanted to say that the handwriting belonged to her brother. That Elias might still be alive. That he might be caught up in all of this. But she couldn't. Because if Elias was involved, that meant he was either working for Luciano or working against him. And either way he was in danger. Marina couldn't lose him again. "There's nothing," she said. Her voice was steady now. "I don't know anything." She walked out before Luciano could ask anything else. Marina locked herself in her room. She sat on the edge of the bed, hands shaking, mind racing. Elias was alive. Or he had been. At least long enough to sign those documents. But why? What was he doing mixed up with the Mafia? Elias was a lot of things. Reckless. Stubborn. A dreamer who never finished anything he started. But he wasn't a criminal. Was he? Marina pulled out her phone. She hadn't called her mom in days. Hadn't wanted to explain where she was. What she was doing. But now she had to know. She dialed. Her mom picked up on the 3rd ring. "Marina? Baby, where have you been?" "I've been calling you." "I'm sorry, Ma," Marina said. "I've been busy. Work stuff." "Work? At that fancy restaurant?" "Yeah." Her mom sighed. "You work too much, Mija. You need to rest. You sound tired." "I'm okay." Marina paused. Her throat felt tight. "Ma, I need to ask you something." "What is it?" "Have you heard from Elias?" Silence. Marina's mom didn't answer right away. When she did, her voice was softer. Sadder. "No, baby. Not since he left." "Are you sure? No letters? No messages?" "Nothing. Nothing." Her mom's voice cracked. "Why? Did you hear something?" Marina closed her eyes. Felt tears burn behind them. "No," she lied. I was thinking about him." "I think about him every day," her mom said quietly. "I pray he's okay. Wherever he is." Marina's chest ached. "Me too, Ma." They talked for a few more minutes. Her mom told her about church. About the neighbor's new dog. About the leak in the kitchen sink that needed fixing. Normal things. Safe things. When Marina hung up, she sat in the dark and stared at the wall. Elias was out there somewhere. Alive. And tangled up in something dangerous. She had to find him. But she couldn't tell Luciano. Not yet. Not until she knew what Elias was really doing. Not until she knew if he was the leak. Or if he was trying to stop it. There was a knock on the door. Marina wiped her eyes. "Come in." Angelo stepped inside. He didn't say anything. Just handed her a piece of paper. Marina unfolded it. It was a photo. Printed from one of the security cameras. A man walking into Costello's. His face was turned away from the camera. But Marina could see his build. His walk. The way he held his shoulders. It was Elias. Marina's hands started shaking. "Where did you get this?" she whispered. "Boss found it in the archives," Angelo said. "From 2 months ago. He wants to know if you recognize him." Marina stared at the photo. At her brother's face. The brother she thought was dead. She looked up at Angelo. His face was blank. Unreadable. "No," Marina said. Her voice didn't shake this time. "I've never seen him before." Angelo stared at her for a long moment. Then he nodded. "Okay." He left. Marina looked down at the photo again. Touched Elias's face with her fingertip. "What did you get yourself into?" she whispered. She folded the photo. Tucked it under her pillow. And made a decision. She was going to find her brother. Even if it meant lying to the most dangerous man in New York. Even if it meant risking everything. Because Elias was her family. And family was worth dying for. Marina woke up to shouting. She sat up fast, heart pounding. The sun wasn't up yet. The room was still dark. But she could hear voices down the hall. Angry voices. She threw on her jacket and opened the door. Angelo was standing in the hallway. Arms crossed. Face tense. "What's happening?" Marina asked. "Stay in your room." "Angelo, what's going on?" Before he could answer, Luciano's voice cut through the building like thunder. "Get the cars. Now." Marina stepped into the hallway. Luciano was at the end of it, phone pressed to his ear. His jaw was tight. His eyes were dark. Dangerous. He hung up. Saw Marina. "You're coming with me," he said. "What? Where?" "No time. Let's go." Marina didn't move. "I'm not going anywhere until you tell me what's happening." Luciano walked toward her. Fast. He grabbed her arm. Not rough. But firm. "Those coordinates you helped us find," he said. "They don't just point to a drop site. They point to a warehouse. A warehouse I thought was empty." Marina's stomach twisted. "What's in it?" Luciano's face went hard. "Something I should have destroyed 20 years ago." He pulled her toward the elevator. Angelo followed. "Wait," Marina said. "If it's dangerous, why are you bringing me?" Luciano jabbed the elevator button. "Because if this goes wrong, you're the only person who knows what we found. And I need you alive to testify if I'm not." The elevator doors opened. They stepped inside. Marina's chest felt tight. Testify to who? Luciano didn't answer. The drive took 30 minutes. They went deep into Brooklyn. Past the nice neighborhoods. Past the okay ones. Into the part of the city where streetlights were broken and buildings had bars on the windows. The warehouse sat at the end of a dead-end street. Rusted metal. Broken windows. A chain-link fence that looked like it hadn't been touched in years. 3 black cars pulled up. Doors opened. Men got out. 6 of them. All armed. Marina's hands started shaking. Rico walked up to Luciano. His face was grim. "You sure about this?" Rico asked. No, Luciano said. But we're doing it anyway. He looked at Marina. Stay close to Angelo. Don't say anything. Don't touch anything. Understand? Marina nodded. They walked through the fence, across the cracked pavement, to a side door with a rusted lock. One of the men shot the lock off. The door swung open. Inside the warehouse was dark. It smelled like oil and rust and something else. Something old. Luciano turned on a flashlight. The beam cut through the darkness. And Marina saw them. Boxes. Dozens of them. Stacked against the walls. Covered in dust and cobwebs. Luciano walked to the nearest one. Pulled it open. Inside were files. Thick manila folders. Old photographs. Documents with official seals. Luciano's face went pale. What is it? Rico asked. Luciano pulled out one of the files. Opened it. His hands were shaking. Evidence, he said quietly. From the Bellini trial. 1998. Rico's eyes went wide. That case was closed. The evidence was destroyed. It was supposed to be, Luciano said. His voice was cold. But someone kept it. Someone hid it here. Marina didn't understand. What trial? Luciano looked at her. His eyes were haunted. My father's trial, he said. The one that should have put him away for life. But the evidence disappeared. The case fell apart. He walked free. Marina's blood went cold. You mean? Someone in my organization stole this evidence, Luciano said. Hid it. Kept it as leverage. And now they're using it to destroy me. Rico swore under his breath. He started opening more boxes. More files. More photos. There's enough here to reopen a dozen cases, Rico said. Murder. Extortion. Witness tampering. If this gets out. It won't, Luciano said. His voice was steel. How do you know? Rico asked. Luciano didn't answer. He just kept staring at the files in his hands. Marina felt sick. She backed away from the boxes. Toward the door. And then she heard it. A click. The sound of a gun being cocked. Everyone froze. A voice came from the shadows. Come. I was wondering when you'd figure it out. A man stepped into the light. He was older. 50. Maybe 60. Gray hair. A scar across his cheek. And a gun in his hand. Behind him 3 more men appeared. All armed. Luciano's jaw tightened. Dante. The man smiled. It was a terrible smile. Hello, Luciano. Rico's hand moved toward his gun. But Dante shook his head. I wouldn't, Dante said. My boys are faster. Luciano raised a hand. His men stopped moving. What are you doing, Dante? Luciano's voice was quiet. Dangerous. What I should have done years ago, Dante said. Taking what's mine. This was never yours. Your father made a promise, Dante said. When I saved his neck. When I hid this evidence. He said I'd be his partner. Equal shares. Equal power. Luciano's eyes went cold. My father's dead. And you never honored his promise. Dante's voice rose. You pushed me to the side. Gave me scraps. Treated me like a soldier when I should have been your equal. You were never my equal. Dante's face twisted with rage. He raised the gun. Pointed it at Luciano. You arrogant. Wait. Everyone turned. Marina had spoken. He didn't know why. Didn't know what she was doing. But she stepped forward anyway. If you shoot him, Marina said, her voice shaking, you'll never get out of here alive. Dante laughed. And who are you? Nobody, Marina said. But I've been watching. And I've seen his men. There are 6 of them. You have 3. You'll get 1 shot. Maybe 2. And then you're dead. Dante's smile faded. She's right, Rico said quietly. You won't make it to the door. Dante's hand tightened on the gun. His eyes darted around the room. Luciano stepped forward. So, come. You want equal power? Luciano said. Fine. Lower the gun. We'll talk. Talk. Dante spat. So you can kill me later? So we can figure out what happens next, Luciano said. Because if that evidence gets out, we all go down. Not just me. You too. Dante hesitated. How do I know you won't kill me the second I lower this gun? Luciano's eyes were cold. Hard. You don't, he said. But you're out of options. The warehouse went silent. Marina held her breath. Dante stared at Luciano for a long moment. Then slowly he lowered the gun. Smart move, Luciano said. He nodded at Rico. It happened so fast Marina almost missed it. Rico moved. Drew his gun. Fired. The shot echoed through the warehouse. Dante dropped to the ground. Blood spreading across his chest. His men raised their guns. But Luciano's men were faster. 3 more shots. 3 more bodies. And then it was over. Marina stood frozen. Her ears were ringing. Her hands were shaking. She couldn't look away from the bodies on the floor. Luciano walked over to Dante. Looked down at him. His face was blank. You were right, Luciano said quietly. I wasn't going to let you walk out of here. He turned to his men. Burn it, he said. All of it. The files. The bodies. Everything. Rico nodded. Luciano walked to Marina. She was still staring at the bodies. At the blood. Let's go, he said. Marina didn't move. Marina. His voice was softer now. We need to leave. She looked up at him. Her eyes were wet. You knew, she whispered. You knew you were going to kill him. Luciano didn't deny it. Yes. Why did you let him talk? Why not just? Because I needed to know if anyone else was involved, Luciano said. How I do. Marina felt sick. She turned away from him. Walked toward the door. Angelo followed her. Outside, Marina bent over and threw up. Her whole body was shaking. Angelo stood nearby. Silent. Waiting. When Marina could breathe again, she straightened up. Wiped her mouth. This is your world, she said. Her voice was hollow. This is what you do. Angelo didn't answer. Marina looked back at the warehouse. Smoke was already rising from the windows. Everything inside was burning. The evidence. The bodies. The youth. All of it turning to ash. And Marina realized something that made her chest ache. She wasn't just caught in Luciano's world anymore. He was part of it. And there was no going back. Marina sat in the back of the car and stared at her hands. They were shaking. So, even after 20 minutes of driving, even after leaving the warehouse behind, she kept seeing it. The bodies. The blood. The way Dante's eyes went empty. Angelo sat across from her. Silent. Like always. Rico was in the front seat talking on the phone. Giving orders. Cleaning up the mess. But Luciano wasn't there. Marina looked around. Where is he? Angelo didn't answer. Angelo. Where's Luciano? Other car, Angelo said. His voice was flat. Marina's chest tightened. Something was wrong. Stop the car, she said. Angelo blinked. What? Stop the car. Now. Rico turned around. We're not stopping. Something's wrong, Marina said. She could feel it. Deep in her gut. Where's Luciano? Rico and Angelo exchanged a look. He's fine, Rico said. Then why isn't he here? No one answered. Marina's hands stopped shaking. Her fear turned into something else. Something sharper. Stop. The car. Rico swore under his breath. He told the driver to pull over. The car behind them stopped too. Marina got out before anyone could stop her. She walked to the second car. Pulled open the back door. And saw him. Luciano was slumped against the seat. His shirt was dark. Wet. Blood soaking through the fabric. Marina's breath caught. Oh my God. One of the men in the car tried to close the door. He's fine. We're taking him to. Marina shoved past him. Climbed into the car. Luciano's eyes were closed. His face was pale. Too pale. Luciano. Marina touched his shoulder. Luciano, can you hear me? His eyes opened. Fully. He looked at her like he wasn't sure she was real. You should be in the other car, he said. His voice was weak. You're bleeding. I've had worse. Marina looked at the wound. It was on his side. Just below his ribs. A bullet had grazed him. Maybe more than grazed. We need to get him to a hospital, Marina said. No hospitals, Luciano said. His voice was firmer now. Too many questions. Rico appeared at the door. We're taking him to the safe house. We have a doctor there. How far is that? Marina asked. 20 minutes. Marina looked at the blood. At how pale Luciano's face was getting. He might not have 20 minutes. He'll make it, Rico said. But he didn't sound sure. Marina made a decision. Give me something to stop the bleeding, she said. Rico hesitated. Then he pulled a first aid kit from under the seat. Handed it to her. Marina opened it. Found gauze. Bandages. She pulled off her jacket. Rolled up her sleeves. What are you doing? Luciano asked. Keeping you alive. Marina pressed gauze against the wound. Hard. Luciano hissed through his teeth. You don't have to. Shut up, Marina said. Her voice was steady. Come. Even though her heart was racing. Just breathe. And don't move. She kept pressure on the wound. The gauze turned red fast. But the bleeding was slowing. Drive, Marina told the driver. Fast. But not so fast that you hit anything. I need this car steady. The driver nodded. The car started moving. Marina kept her hands pressed against Luciano's side. She could feel his heartbeat under her palms. Fast. But steady. You should have left, Luciano said. His voice was quiet. When you had the chance. I tried, Marina said. You wouldn't let me. I meant tonight. At the warehouse. You should have run. Marina looked at him. His eyes were heavy. Tired. And let you bleed out in the back of a car? She said. What kind of person do you think I am? A smart one, Luciano said. Smart enough to know when to walk away. Maybe I'm not as smart as you think. Luciano almost smiled. Almost. You corrected me, he said. That first night. No one's done that in years. Marina frowned. Corrected you? Those numbers on the receipt. You told me they were wrong. You didn't ask. Didn't hesitate. You just told me. They were wrong. Most people wouldn't have said anything, Luciano said. They would have been too scared. Or too polite. But you weren't. Marina pressed harder on the wound. The bleeding was almost stopped. I don't know how to be polite to criminals, she said. Luciano's eyes crinkled. An actual smile this time. Small. But real. Good, he said. Don't start now. The car hit a bump. Luciano winced. Marina steadied him with her free hand. You okay? She asked. Fine. You're not fine. You're bleeding. Like I said. I've had worse. Marina looked at him. Really looked at him. This man who terrified everyone. Who killed without hesitating. Who controlled half of New York with a phone call. But right now he just looked human. Tired. Hurt. Mortal. Why do you do it? Marina asked quietly. Do what? This. All of it. The violence. The lies. The killing. Luciano was quiet for a long time. Marina thought he wasn't going to answer. Then he spoke. Because it's all I know, he said. My father did it. His father before him. I was 12 years old the first time I saw someone die. 15 the first time I pulled a trigger. Marina's chest ached. You could stop, she said. You could walk away. No, Luciano said. His voice was firm. Final. I couldn't. Not without everyone I care about dying. That's how this world works. You're either at the top or you're dead. There's no in between. Marina didn't know what to say to that. The car pulled up to a building. Smaller than the last one. Older. The door opened. Two men helped Luciano out. He could barely stand. Marina climbed out after him. Her hands were covered in blood. His blood. A man in a white coat was waiting inside. Older. Glasses. He looked like somebody's grandfather. Get him on the table, the doctor said. They laid Luciano down. The doctor started cutting away his shirt. Examining the wound. You did good, the doctor said to Marina. The pressure stopped most of the bleeding. Probably saved his life. Marina felt her knees go weak. She sat down hard on a chair. Rico appeared next to her. Handed her a towel. Clean yourself up, he said. His voice was softer than usual. Almost kind. Marina wiped the blood off her hands. But it was under her nails. In the creases of her palms. She couldn't get it all off. Is he going to be okay? She asked. Rico looked at Luciano. At the doctor working on him. Yeah, he said. He'll be fine. He's too stubborn to die. Marina almost laughed. Almost. He watched the doctor stitch the wound. Watched Luciano's face. He didn't make a sound. Didn't flinch. Just stared at the ceiling. After a while the doctor finished. He wrapped bandages around Luciano's torso. Gave him something for the pain. He needs rest, the doctor said. No moving for at least 2 days. Luciano sat up anyway. Fully. Wincing. I'm fine, he said. You're an idiot, the doctor said. He looked at Marina. Make sure he doesn't do anything stupid. Then he left. The room went quiet. Luciano looked at Marina. At the blood still on her clothes. Thank you, he said. Marina blinked. She'd never heard him say that before. You would have done the same for me, she said. Luciano's eyes darkened. Would I? Marina didn't know how to answer that. They stared at each other. The air between them felt heavy. Charged. Luciano stood. Walked toward her. Slow. Careful. You could have run tonight, he said. When the shooting started. You could have disappeared. But you didn't. I told you, Marina said. I'm not that smart. Or maybe you're braver than you think. He was close now. Close enough that Marina could see the gold in his dark eyes. Could smell the blood and smoke still clinging to him. I'm not brave, Marina whispered. I'm terrified. Of me. Of all of this. Luciano reached out. Touched her cheek. Just for a second. His hand was warm. Rough. You should be, he said quietly. This world destroys everything good in it. Marina's heart was pounding. She didn't know why. Then why keep me in it, she asked. Luciano's jaw tightened. He dropped his hand. Because I'm selfish, he said. And I don't want to let you go. He walked away before Marina could respond. And Marina sat there in that quiet room, hands still stained with his blood, and realized something that scared her more than the violence ever could. She didn't want to leave either. Marina couldn't sleep. She lay in bed staring at the ceiling. Every time she closed her eyes she saw the warehouse. The bodies. The blood. And Luciano's face. The way he looked at her before he walked away. I don't want to let you go. Marina rolled over. Pressed her face into the pillow. She couldn't think about that. Couldn't let herself feel whatever was starting to grow between them. Because the moment Luciano found out about Elias, everything would change. He'd see her as a liar. A threat. Maybe even an accomplice. And then she'd end up like Dante. Like all the others who crossed him. Marina sat up. She needed air. Needed to move. She walked to the window. The city was still awake. Lights everywhere. Cars moving. People living their normal lives. Marina pressed her hand against the glass. She used to be one of those people. Working. Tired. But free. Now she was trapped in a world of blood and secrets. And the worst part? She was starting to understand it. There was a knock on the door. Marina turned. Come in. Angelo stepped inside. His face was grim. Boss wants to see you, he said. Marina's stomach dropped. Why? Didn't say. Just said now. Marina followed him down the hallway. Her heart was pounding. Something was wrong. She could feel it. They went to Luciano's office. The door was open. Luciano sat behind his desk. His shirt was different. Clean. But Marina could see the bandages underneath. He looked tired. But his eyes were sharp. Alert. Rico stood next to him. Arms crossed. Face hard. Marina stopped in the doorway. Sit, Luciano said. Marina sat. Her hands were shaking. She hid them in her lap. Rico dropped a folder on the desk. It landed with a heavy thud. We did some digging, Rico said. His voice was cold. Into your background. Marina's blood went cold. Why? Because you appeared out of nowhere, Rico said. And now you're in the middle of everything. That makes you a risk. Marina looked at Luciano. You told me I could trust you. And I told you not to lie to me, Luciano said. His voice was calm. Too calm. So let me ask you something, Marina. Is there anything you haven't told us? Marina's throat went dry. No. Rico opened the folder. Pulled out papers. Photos. Documents Marina had never seen before. Marina Valles, Rico read. Born in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Mother Rosa Valles. Father, unknown. He looked up at her. His eyes were like ice. Except that's not the whole story, is it? Marina's chest tightened. Rico pulled out another document. Older. Yellowed with age. Adoption papers, he said. Sealed by the state of New York 20 years ago. Marina Valles. And her older brother Elias Valles. Both adopted by Rosa Valles when Marina was 3 years old. Marina felt the room spin. You have a brother, Rico said. A brother you never mentioned. A brother who disappeared 3 years ago. He pulled out a photo. Slid it across the desk. It was Elias. The same photo Angelo had shown her days ago. The one from the restaurant's security cameras. A brother who's been in and out of our restaurants for the past 6 months, Rico continued. A brother who signed off on fake invoices. Who moved money through our accounts. Who's connected to the leak. Marina couldn't breathe. Luciano stood. Walked around the desk. His eyes never left her face. You knew, he said. His voice was quiet. Dangerous. You knew who he was. You recognized the handwriting. The photo. And you lied to my face. Marina's eyes burned with tears. But she didn't let them fall. I didn't know he was involved, she said. Her voice cracked. Not until I saw the signature. I swear. And you didn't think to tell me? Luciano's voice rose. You didn't think that maybe I should know the woman helping me find a traitor is related to one? He's my brother. Marina stood up. Her hands were shaking. What was I supposed to do? Hand him over to you so you could kill him? Yes, Rico said flatly. Marina turned to him. He's all I have left. My whole family. I can't. You should have told me, Luciano said. His voice was steel. The moment you knew. Marina's chest ached. Tears spilled down her cheeks. I was scared, she whispered. Scared you'd think I was part of it. Scared you'd kill me. Scared I'd lose him all over again. Luciano stared at her. His face was unreadable. Is he the leak? He asked. I don't know. Is he working against me? I don't know. Marina's voice broke. I haven't seen him in 3 years. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know who he's working for. I just know he's alive. And I can't lose him again. The room went silent. Rico looked at Luciano. She's compromised. We can't trust her. She saved my life, Luciano said. Doesn't mean she's not playing us. Luciano's jaw tightened. He walked to the window. Stared out at the city. Leave us, he said. Rico didn't move. Boss. I said leave. Rico's face darkened. But he walked out. Slammed the door behind him. Marina stood alone with Luciano. Her whole body was shaking. I'm sorry, she whispered. I should have told you. I just... Sit down, Luciano said. His voice was softer now. Not kind. But not angry either. Marina sat. Luciano turned to face her. He leaned against the window. Arms crossed. Tell me about him, he said. Your brother. Marina wiped her eyes. Took a shaky breath. Elias, she said. He's 2 years older than me. We were adopted together. My mom always said he was the reason she took me. She saw him in the foster home trying to protect the younger kids. She said he had a good heart. And now. Marina's voice cracked. I don't know. He left 3 years ago. Just packed a bag one day and disappeared. No note. No goodbye. I thought he was dead. What made him leave? Marina hesitated. He got into some trouble. Owed money to the wrong people. I think he ran to protect us. To keep them from coming after me and my mom. Luciano was quiet for a moment. Then he spoke. Do you think he's the leak? Marina looked up at him. Met his eyes. I don't know, she said honestly. But if he is, there has to be a reason. Elias isn't like that. He wouldn't betray people for money. Not unless someone forced him. Or threatened him, Luciano said quietly. Marina's breath caught. You think someone's using him? It's possible, Luciano said. If he owed money to the wrong people, they could have leveraged that debt. Made him work for them. Or used his family as collateral. Marina's stomach twisted. Why, Mom? Luciano nodded. If someone wanted to control your brother, threatening his family would be the easiest way. Marina felt sick. She stood up. Paced the room. I have to find him, she said. I have to know if he's okay. If my mom's safe. We'll find him, Luciano said. Marina stopped. Turned to face him. You're not going to kill him? Luciano's face was hard. I didn't say that. Luciano. I said we'll find him, Luciano repeated. His voice was firm. What happens after that depends on what we find. If he's the leak, if he's working against me willingly, then yes. I'll kill him. Marina's eyes filled with tears again. But if he's being used, Luciano continued, if he's a pawn in someone else's game, then maybe we can work something out. Why would you do that? Marina whispered. Why would you help him? Luciano walked toward her. Stopped in front of her. Close. Because you asked me to, he said quietly. And because I don't want to be the person who takes your family from you. Marina stared at him. Her chest ached. I lied to you, she said. I put you in danger. Why are you being kind to me? Luciano reached out. Wiped a tear from her cheek with his thumb. Because you're not like the rest of them, he said. You're honest. Even when it's hard. Even when it hurts. And I need someone like that in my life. Marina's heart was pounding. She didn't know what to say. Luciano dropped his hand. Step back. But I need you to promise me something, he said. His voice was harder now. Serious. No more lies. No more secrets. If you know something, you tell me. Even if it scares you. Even if you think it'll hurt. Marina nodded. I promise. Good. Luciano walked back to his desk. Now go get some rest. Tomorrow we start looking for your brother. Marina turned to leave. But stopped at the door. Luciano. He looked up. Thank you, Marina said. Her voice was small. Honest. For not giving up on me. Luciano's eyes softened. Just a little. Don't thank me yet, he said. We still have to find him alive. Marina nodded. And left. As she walked back to her room, she realized something that made her chest ache. Luciano wasn't just protecting her anymore. He was fighting for her. And that scared her more than anything. Marina didn't go back to her room. She couldn't. Not with everything spinning in her head. Not with the weight of Elias pressing down on her chest. He went to the roof instead. The door was locked. But Angelo had taught her how to pick simple locks. Said it might save her life one day. She never thought she'd use it to break into fresh air. The roof was cold. Windy. The city stretched out below her like a sea of lights. Marina walked to the edge. Sat down. Let her legs dangle over the side. She wasn't going to jump. She just needed to feel something other than trapped. Her phone buzzed. A text from her mom. You haven't called in days. Are you okay? Marina stared at the message. Her throat felt tight. No, she wasn't okay. She was lying to a crime boss. Her brother was alive and probably working for his enemies. And she was falling for a man who killed people without blinking. But she couldn't tell her mom any of that. I'm fine. Just busy. I'll call soon. I love you. She hit send. Then turned off her phone. The door behind her opened. Marina didn't turn around. She knew who it was. How do you know I was here? She asked. Cameras everywhere, Luciano said. He walked over. Sat down next to her. You shouldn't be up here alone. Why not? Because it's dangerous. Marina laughed. It came out bitter. Everything about this is dangerous. Luciano didn't argue. He just sat there, quiet, looking out at the city with her. After a while, Marina spoke. I need to tell you something else, she said. Her voice was small. About Elias. Luciano turned to look at her. Okay. Marina took a deep breath. Her hands were shaking. When Elias left, she said, there were rumors. Stories about where he went. What he was doing. What kind of stories? Marina's chest felt tight. She forced the words out. People said he joined a group. A syndicate. Underground. Secret. They called themselves the Obsidian Circles. Luciano went very still. Marina kept talking. The words spilled out like she'd been holding them in too long. I didn't believe it at first. Elias wasn't like that. He wasn't a criminal. But then I heard more. From people in the neighborhood. From his old friends. They said the Obsidian Circles recruited people with debts. People who were desperate. They'd pay off what you owed. But then you belonged to them. And Elias owed money, Luciano said quietly. Marina nodded. Tears burned her eyes. He owed a lot. To loan sharks. To bookies. People who would have killed him if he didn't pay. Think he made a deal. Traded his debt for his freedom. But it wasn't freedom. It was just a different kind of prison. Luciano's jaw was tight. His hands were clenched into fists. Do you know what the obsidian circles do? He asked. His voice was cold, controlled. Marina shook her head. They infiltrate, Luciano said. They plant people inside enemy operations. Waiters, drivers, accountants, anyone who can get close. Then they gather information. They'll sabotage, destroy from the inside. Marina's stomach dropped. You think Elias was planted at Costello's? She whispered. I don't think, Luciano said. I know. Marina felt like she couldn't breathe. The coded message, Luciano continued. The fake invoices. The stolen money. It all makes sense now. He wasn't working alone. He was working for them. But the message warned you, Marina said desperately. He sent you those coordinates. He was trying to help you. Or he was trying to expose someone else in the obsidian circles, Luciano said. Someone who was double-crossing them. That message wasn't about helping me. It was about protecting his own people. Marina shook her head. Tears spilled down her cheeks. No. Elias wouldn't do that. He wouldn't hurt people. He wouldn't. You don't know what he'd do, Luciano said. His voice was harsh now. You haven't seen him in 3 years. People change. Especially when they're fighting to survive. Marina pressed her hands to her face. Sobbed. This is my fault, she choked out. If I hadn't worked at Costello's. If I hadn't been there. Stop, Luciano said. He used me. Marina's voice cracked. He knew I worked there. He knew I'd be close to you. He put me in danger. He made me part of this. Luciano grabbed her shoulders. Turned her to face him. Listen to me, he said. His voice was firm. Strong. This is not your fault. You didn't know. You couldn't have known. But what if that's why I got the job? Marina whispered. What if he arranged it? What if everything I did, everything I saw was part of his plan? Luciano stared at her. His eyes were hard. But not cold. Not cruel. Did you apply for that job yourself? He asked. Marina nodded. I found it online. Sent in my resume. Did anyone contact you before the interview? Offer you help? Tell you what to say? No. I went. And they hired me. Then you got that job because you're good at what you do, Luciano said. Not because your brother pulled strings. Marina wanted to believe him. But doubt sat heavy in her chest. What if he was watching me? She asked. What if he knew I'd see that code? What if he wanted me to bring it to you? Luciano was quiet for a long moment. Then he put you in danger, he said finally. And that's on him. Not you. Marina pulled away. Stood up. Paced the roof. I don't know what to do, she said. Her voice was breaking. I don't know how to help him. I don't know if I even should. Luciano stood. Walked over to her. Do you want to find him? He asked. Marina looked up at him. Her eyes were red. Swollen. Yes. Even if he's guilty? Even if he's been lying to you this whole time? Marina's throat felt raw. But she nodded. He's my brother, she said. I have to know the truth. Even if it destroys me. Luciano studied her face. Then he nodded. He said. We'll find him. But when we do, you need to be ready for what we might learn. I know. No, Luciano said. His voice was soft. Almost gentle. You don't. Because if Elias is working for the obsidian circles, if he's been playing both sides, then he's not the brother you remember. He's a weapon. And weapons don't get to walk away. Marina felt her chest cave in. You're going to kill him, she whispered. I'm going to do what I have to do, Luciano said. To protect my people. To protect you. Don't, Marina said. Tears streamed down her face. Don't make me choose between you and him. Please. Luciano reached out. Cupped her face in his hands. His thumbs wiped away her tears. I'm not making you choose, he said quietly. But the world we live in doesn't give us easy answers. Sometimes people we love do terrible things. And we have to decide if love is enough to forgive them. Marina closed her eyes. Leaned into his touch. What if it's not? She whispered. Then we grieve, Luciano said. And we move forward. Marina opened her eyes. Looked at him. This man who terrified the world. This man who held her like she was something precious. Why are you being so kind to me? She asked. Luciano's eyes darkened. He dropped his hands. Because I see myself in you, he said. I know what it's like to love someone who's chosen the wrong path. To want to save them even when you know you can't. Who? Marina asked. Luciano turned away. Looked out at the city. My father, he said quietly. I spent years trying to be better than him. Trying to prove I wasn't like him. But in the end I became exactly what he was. A killer. A liar. A man who destroys everything he touches. Marina's heart ached. You're not destroying me, she said. Luciano looked back at her. His eyes were filled with something Marina couldn't name. Pain. Regret. Maybe even hope. Not yet, he said. But I will. It's what I do. Marina walked over to him. Stood close. Close enough to feel the warmth of his body. The rise and fall of his breath. Then let me decide, she said. When that time comes. Let me choose if I want to stay or go. Luciano stared at her. His jaw worked. Like he was fighting something inside himself. Okay, he said finally. But when the time comes, don't say I didn't warn you. Marina nodded. They stood there on the roof. The wind cold against their skin. The city alive below them. And for the first time since this all started, Marina felt like she wasn't alone. Even if the person standing beside her was the most dangerous man she'd ever known. Even if loving him might be the thing that destroyed her. She wasn't alone. And for now that was enough. Marina woke up to gunfire. She sat up fast, heart slamming in her chest. The sound was close. Too close. Coming from downstairs. She jumped out of bed. Ran to the door. Locked it. More gunshots. Shouting. The crash of something breaking. Marina's hands shook as she grabbed her phone. Called Luciano. It rang once. Twice. Marina. His voice was tight. Urgent. Where are you? My room. What's happening? Stay there. Lock the door. Don't open it for anyone except me or Angelo. Luciano. Do what I say. Now. The line went dead. Marina backed away from the door. Her whole body was shaking. She grabbed the chair from the desk. Shoved it under the door handle. More gunshots. Closer this time. Then footsteps in the hallway. Running. Fast. Marina pressed herself against the wall. Held her breath. The footsteps stopped outside her door. Someone tried the handle. It didn't move. She's in there, a voice said. Unfamiliar. Break it down. Marina's blood went cold. She looked around the room. No weapons. No way out. Just a window that was too high to jump from. The door shook. Someone was kicking it. Marina grabbed a lamp. Ripped the cord from the wall. It wasn't much. But it was something. The door splintered. The chair fell away. Two men burst in. Big. Armed. Faces Marina didn't recognize. She swung the lamp. Hit the first man in the face. He stumbled back. The second man grabbed her. Slammed her against the wall. Got her, he shouted. Marina fought. Clawed at his face. But he was too strong. Then his head snapped to the side. Blood sprayed across the wall. He dropped to the ground. Luciano stood in the doorway. Gun in his hand. His face was hard. Deadly. Come on, he said. Now. Marina ran to him. He grabbed her hand. Pulled her into the hallway. It was chaos. Bodies on the floor. Blood on the walls. Men fighting. Shooting. Dying. Angelo appeared from a side door. His shirt was torn. Blood on his face. But he was alive. East exits blocked, Angelo said. They're everywhere. How many? Luciano asked. Half our guys turned, Angelo said. His voice was grim. They're saying she's the leak. Marina's stomach dropped. What? Someone spread the word, Angelo said. Said your obsidian circles. That you've been feeding them information. That you set up the warehouse hit. That's not true, Marina said. Her voice was rising. Panicking. I didn't. I know, Luciano said. He pulled her close. But they don't. Rico appeared around the corner. Gun drawn. He looked at Marina. His face was dark with rage. This is her fault, Rico said. She brought this on us. No, Luciano said firmly. Someone's setting her up. Or she's playing you, Rico shot back. Her brother's obsidian. She worked at the restaurant. She's been in your inner circle for weeks. Wake up, Luciano. She's the leak. She saved my life, Luciano said. Or she wanted you alive long enough to bleed us dry. Rico raised his gun, pointed it at Marina. We end this now. Luciano stepped in front of Marina, his own gun raised. Lower your weapon, Luciano said. His voice was ice. That's an order. Rico's hand shook. You're choosing her over your own men? I'm choosing the truth over paranoia. The truth. Rico laughed. It was a terrible sound. The truth is half our guys are dead because you trusted the wrong person. Luciano's jaw tightened. But he didn't lower his gun. Last chance, Rico, Luciano said quietly. Lower it. Rico stared at him. At Marina. His face twisted with something that looked like grief. Then he lowered the gun. You're making a mistake, Rico said. And it's going to get us all killed. He turned and disappeared down the hallway. Luciano grabbed Marina's hand again. We need to move. They ran. Through hallways. Downstairs. Angelo leading the way. Gunfire echoing behind them. They reached the basement. Angelo pushed open a heavy metal door. Behind it was darkness. And stairs leading down. The tunnels, Angelo said. It's the only way out. Luciano nodded. They went down. The tunnels were old. Brick walls. Low ceilings. The air smelled like mold and rust. A single line of emergency lights lit the way. They ran. Marina's lungs burned. Her legs ached. But she didn't stop. Behind them voices. Footsteps. They were being followed. Angelo led them through twists and turns. Left. Right. Down another set of stairs. Then he stopped. This way, Angelo said. He pushed open a grate. Goes under the river. Comes up in Brooklyn. Marina looked at the tunnel. It was narrow. Dark. Water dripped from the ceiling. Go, Luciano said. Angelo went first. Then Marina. She had to crouch. The tunnel was too low to stand. Water soaked through her shoes. Cold. Filthy. Luciano came last. He pulled the grate shut behind them. They crawled. For what felt like hours. Marina's hands were scraped. Her knees bruised. But she kept moving. Finally they reached another grate. Angelo pushed it open. They climbed out. They were in an alley. Trash everywhere. The smell of rotting food. But they were out. Angelo leaned against the wall. Breathing hard. We need to keep moving, Luciano said. They'll track us. Where? Marina asked. Her voice was shaking. Where can we go? Luciano looked at her. And for the first time since she'd met him, Marina saw something in his eyes she'd never seen before. Fear. Real fear. I don't know, he said quietly. Marina's chest tightened. Luciano always had a plan. Always knew what to do. But now he was lost. Pagan. Angelo pulled out his phone. Made a call. Spoke quickly in Italian. Then hung up. I got a place, Angelo said. Safe house in Red Hook. Off the grid. No one knows about it except me. Luciano nodded. Let's go. They walked. Through back alleys. Staying in shadows. Avoiding cameras. Avoiding people. Marina's whole body hurt. But worse than the pain was the fear. How did this happen? She asked quietly. How did they turn so many of your men? Money, Luciano said. His voice was hollow. Fear. Lies. The obsidian circles are good at all three. But why now? Marina asked. Why tonight? Luciano stopped. Looked at her. His face was tired. Haunted. Because they wanted us separated, he said. Vulnerable. They wanted me to lose trust in my own people. And they wanted you dead before we could figure out the truth. Marina's throat felt tight. The truth about what? About who's really behind this, Luciano said. It's not just your brother. Someone higher up. Someone with resources. Someone who wants me destroyed. They reached a small brick building. Boarded windows. Rusty fire escape. It looked abandoned. Angelo unlocked the door. They went inside. It was bare. A couch. A table. A single mattress in the corner. But it was clean. Secure. Angelo checked the windows. The locks. Then nodded. We're safe. For now. Luciano sat down on the couch. Dropped his head into his hands. Marina had never seen him like this. Broken. Defeated. She sat down next to him. Carefully. Like he might shatter. We'll figure this out, she said quietly. Luciano laughed. But there was no humor in it. I lost half my men tonight, he said. Men I trusted. Men I trained. And they turned on me because of a lie. Because someone wanted them to, Marina said. This isn't your fault. Luciano looked at her. His eyes were dark. Filled with pain. I brought you into this, he said. I kept you close. I let myself care. And now you're a target. Marina's chest ached. I don't regret it. You should, Luciano said. His voice cracked. You should run. As far from me as you can. Because everyone who stays close to me ends up dead. Marina reached out. Took his hand. It was cold. Trembling. I'm not running, she said. Not from you. Not from this. Luciano stared at their hands. Intertwined. His so much bigger than hers. So much more scarred. Why, he whispered. Why would you stay? Marina swallowed hard. Her heart was pounding. She knew the answer. Had known it for days. Maybe longer. Because I love you, she said quietly. Luciano's breath caught. He looked up at her. His eyes wide. Vulnerable. You don't mean that. Yes I do, Marina said. Her voice was steady now. Sure. I love you. Even though I shouldn't. Even though it's dangerous. Even though it might destroy me. Luciano pulled her close. Pressed his forehead against hers. His hands cupped her face. If you stay, he said, his voice raw, I can't promise I'll keep you safe. I can't promise we'll survive this. I know, Marina whispered. But I can promise I'll fight for you, Luciano said. Until my last breath. I'll fight for you. Marina closed her eyes. Felt tears slip down her cheeks. Then that's enough, she said. They sat there. In that broken safe house. In the middle of a war. And held on to each other like they were the only solid thing in a world falling apart. As maybe they were. And maybe that was all they needed. Marina woke up to voices. Tense. Coming from the other room. She sat up. The mattress was thin. Her back hurt. But she was alive. They were alive. She walked to the doorway. Stopped. Angelo and Luciano stood over a laptop. A map on the screen. Red dots scattered across it. That's where the signal's coming from, Angelo said. He pointed to one of the dots. Industrial district. Near the docks. How many men do we have left? Luciano asked. Angelo's face was grim. 4. Maybe 5 if we can reach Marco. 5 men against an entire syndicate, Luciano said. His voice was flat. Great odds. We could wait, Angelo said. Regroup. Call in favors. We don't have time, Luciano said. They're moving. If we don't hit them now, they'll disappear. And we'll never get another chance. Marina stepped into the room. Both men looked at her. What signal? She asked. Luciano hesitated. Then nodded at Angelo. Angelo turned the laptop toward her. We traced the money. The fake invoices. The payments. They all lead back to one location. Marina looked at the map. At the red dot blinking in the industrial district. What's there? She asked. A compound, Luciano said. Hidden. Off the books. We think it's where the obsidian circles operate from. Marina's chest tightened. You think Elias is there? Luciano met her eyes. Yes. Marina walked closer. Stared at the screen. That little red dot. Her brother. Right there. When do we leave? She asked. We. Luciano shook his head. You're staying here. No. Marina. He's my brother, Marina said. Her voice was firm. Strong. If anyone's going to face him, it's me. It's too dangerous, Luciano said. Everything about this is dangerous, Marina shot back. But I need to be there. I need to hear it from him. Whatever he's done. Whatever he's planning. I need to know why. Luciano stared at her. His jaw was tight. Then he looked at Angelo. Give us a minute, Luciano said. Angelo nodded. Left the room. Luciano walked over to Marina. Took her hands. If you come with us, he said quietly, there's a chance you won't like what you find. There's a chance your brother is exactly what Rico said. A traitor. A killer. I know, Marina said. And if he is, Luciano continued, I can't promise I won't do what needs to be done. Marina's throat felt tight. But she nodded. I understand. Luciano studied her face. Then he pulled her close. Kissed her forehead. He said. You come. But you stay behind me. Always. Okay. They left an hour later. 4 of them. Luciano. Angelo. 2 other men Marina didn't know well. And her. They drove in silence. Through empty streets. Past closed shops. Into the part of Brooklyn where no one asked questions. The compound was hidden behind a warehouse. Tall chain-link fence. Security cameras. Guards at the gate. How do we get in? Marina asked. Luciano pulled out his phone. Made a call. Spoke quickly. Then hung up. We don't, he said. They're letting us in. Marina blinked. What? I made a deal, Luciano said. His voice was cold. Hard. A meeting. Me and whoever's in charge. No weapons. No violence. Angelo turned around from the front seat. Boss, that's a trap. I know, Luciano said. But it's the only way Marina gets to see her brother. Marina's chest ached. He was doing this for her. Walking into a trap. Risking everything. Luciano. Don't, he said. His voice was softer now. I already decided. The car pulled up to the gate. A guard approached. Looked at Luciano. Nodded. Opened the gate. They drove in. The compound was bigger than Marina expected. Multiple buildings. Shipping containers stacked high. Men everywhere. Armed. Watching. They parked. Got out. A man walked toward them. Gray hair. Expensive suit. He smiled. But it didn't reach his eyes. Mr. Ferrano, the man said. Thank you for accepting my invitation. I didn't have much choice, Luciano said. The man laughed. No. I suppose you didn't. He looked at Marina. And you must be Marina Valles. Marina said nothing. Your brother has told us so much about you, the man continued. He'll be pleased to see you. Marina's heart was pounding. Where is he? Inside. The man gestured toward the largest building. Follow me. They walked. Through the compound. Past armed guards. Into the building. It was cold inside. Concrete floors. Metal beams. It looked like an old factory. At the center of the room stood a figure. Marina's breath caught. Elias. He looked older. Thinner. His hair was longer. His face harder. But it was him. Marina, Elias said. His voice was the same. The same voice that used to read her bedtime stories. That used to make her laugh. Marina's legs felt weak. She wanted to run to him. Wanted to scream at him. Wanted to cry. Why? She whispered. Why did you do this? Elias's face twisted with pain. I didn't want you involved. I never wanted you dragged into this. But I am, Marina said. Her voice rose. Because of you. Because you disappeared. Because you joined them. I had no choice, Elias said. They were going to kill me. Kill Mom. I did what I had to do to survive. You put a target on my back, Marina said. Tears streamed down her face. You used me. You used my job to get to Luciano. I didn't know you worked there, Elias said. His voice cracked. Not at first. When I found out, I tried to keep you out of it. I tried to protect you. By sending coded messages? Marina shouted. By stealing money? By starting a war? By trying to expose the truth? Elias shouted back. Marina stopped. What truth? Elias looked at Luciano. His eyes were filled with hate. Ask him, Elias said. Ask him what he did to our father. Marina's blood went cold. She turned to Luciano. What is he talking about? She asked. Luciano's face was unreadable. But his jaw was tight. His hands clenched into fists. Luciano, Marina said. Her voice was shaking. What is he talking about? Elias laughed. It was a bitter sound. He doesn't remember, Elias said. Of course he doesn't. Why would he remember one more man he killed? Marina felt the world tilt. No, she whispered. Your father, Elias said, looking at Marina, worked for Luciano's father. A driver. Nothing important. But he saw something he wasn't supposed to see. A deal going bad. A cop getting paid off. And he tried to do the right thing. He tried to report it. Marina's hands were shaking. That's not. Luciano killed him, Elias said. His voice was cold. Final. 12 years ago. On his father's orders. A bullet to the head. In an alley in Queens. They made it look like a robbery. Marina turned to Luciano. Her vision was blurry with tears. Tell me he's lying, she said. Her voice broke. Please. Tell me he's lying. Luciano stared at her. His face was pale. His eyes filled with something that looked like grief. I don't remember, he said quietly. I killed a lot of people back then. On my father's orders. I did what I was told. Marina felt like she couldn't breathe. But it's possible, Luciano continued. His voice was raw. Honest. If your father saw something, if he was a threat, then yes. I might have been the one. Marina stumbled back. Angelo caught her. But she pushed him away. You killed my father, Marina whispered. And you didn't even remember. Marina. Don't, Marina said. Her whole body was shaking. Don't say my name. Don't touch me. Elias walked toward her. Held out his hand. Come with me, he said. Please. Let me get you out of here. Away from him. Marina looked at Elias. At his hand. At the brother she once loved. Then she looked at Luciano. At the man who had protected her. Who had fought for her. Who had killed her father. Her heart was breaking. Tearing in two. I need to know something, Marina said to Elias. Her voice was steady now. Did you know I worked at Costello's before you sent that code? Elias hesitated. Just for a second. But it was enough. Yes, he said quietly. I knew. Marina's chest felt hollow. Did you plan it? She asked. Did you get me that job? Did you put me there so I'd be close to him? Marina. Answer me. Elias's face crumpled. Yes. I got you the job. I needed someone on the inside. Someone they wouldn't suspect. I'm sorry. I never meant for it to go this far. Marina felt numb. Her brother had used her. Had put her in danger. Had made her a pawn in his war. And Luciano had killed her father. Had destroyed her family. Had taken everything from her before she even knew his name. They were both liars. They had both hurt her. But only one of them had tried to protect her when it mattered. Marina looked at Elias. At the brother who had abandoned her. Who had lied to her. Who had used her. You're not my brother anymore, she said. Her voice was quiet. Broken. You stopped being my brother the day you left. Elias's eyes filled with tears. Marina, please. No, Marina said. She turned away from him. Walked back to Luciano. Luciano stared at her. Surprised. Confused. I don't forgive you, Marina said to him. Her voice was shaking. I don't know if I ever will. But you're the only one who's been honest with me. Even when it hurt. Even when it destroyed me. She took his hand. So I'm staying with you, Marina said. Not because I trust you. Not because I love you. But because at least with you I know where I stand. Luciano's eyes were wet. He squeezed her hand. And together they walked out of that compound. Leaving Elias behind. Leaving the past behind. And stepping into whatever came next. Even if it hurt. Even if it destroyed them both. They made it 3 blocks before Luciano stopped. He leaned against a brick wall. His breathing was heavy. His face pale. Luciano. Marina touched his arm. What's wrong? Everything he said, Luciano whispered. Everything about your father. It's not true. Marina's chest tightened. Don't lie to me. Not now. I'm not lying. Luciano looked at her. His eyes were desperate. Honest. I didn't kill your father, Marina. The obsidian circles did. Marina felt the ground shift beneath her. What? Get in the car, Luciano said. I'll explain everything. They drove back to the safe house. Marina's mind was spinning. She didn't know what to believe anymore. Didn't know who to trust. Inside, Luciano pulled out a laptop. Opened files. Old photos. Documents. Police reports. Your father's name was Miguel Valles, Luciano said. He worked for my father. But not as a driver. As an accountant. Marina stared at the screen. At her father's face. He barely remembered him. She was only 3 when he died. He was good with numbers, Luciano continued. Too good. He found something in the books. Money moving to places it shouldn't. Deals with people my father would never work with. The obsidian circles, Marina whispered. Luciano nodded. My father didn't know they'd infiltrated his organization. But your father found proof. He was going to take it to the authorities. Blow the whole thing open. He pulled up another document. A police report. Dated 12 years ago. The night your father died, Luciano said, he was supposed to meet with the FBI. He had evidence. Names. Transactions. Everything they needed to take down the obsidian circles. Marina's hands were shaking. What happened? They got to him first, Luciano said. His voice was hollow. Killed him in an alley. Made it look like a robbery. And they took all the evidence. Marina felt tears burn her eyes. How do you know all this? Because I was there, Luciano said quietly. Marina's breath caught. Luciano closed his eyes. Like the memory hurt. My father sent me to protect your dad, he said. I was 19. Thought I was invincible. I followed Miguel to the meeting spot. Stayed in the shadows. Watched. He opened his eyes. They were filled with pain. I saw them, Luciano continued. 3 men. They came out of nowhere. I tried to stop them. Fired shots. Killed 2 of them. But the third one got to Miguel first. Marina's chest ached. You tried to save him. I failed, Luciano said. His voice cracked. By the time I got to him he was already gone. I held him. Tried to stop the bleeding. But it was too late. Tears spilled down Marina's cheeks. There was a boy with him, Luciano said. Hiding behind a dumpster. Crying. I didn't know who he was at first. But then I realized. He looked just like Miguel. Marina's stomach dropped. Elias. Luciano nodded. He saw everything. His father getting shot. Me standing over the body. He must have thought I did it. Marina covered her mouth with her hand. Oh my God. I got him out of there, Luciano said. Took him to a safe place. Called child services. Made sure he and his sister were taken care of. That's why we got adopted so fast, Marina whispered. Why my mom suddenly had money to take us in. I set up a fund, Luciano said. Made sure you and Elias had everything you needed. A home. Food. I couldn't save your father. But I could save you. Marina felt like she couldn't breathe. Everything she thought she knew was a lie. Elias thinks you killed our father, she said. Because that's what the obsidian circles wanted him to think, Luciano said. They've been manipulating him for years. Feeding him lies. Turning him against me. They knew if they could get him to hate me they could use him as a weapon. Marina stood up. Paced the room. Her mind was racing. The job at Costello's, she said. The coded message. The betrayal. It was all part of their plan. Yes, Luciano said. They planted Elias in my organization. Used his hatred to fuel his loyalty to them. And when they needed someone on the inside, someone I wouldn't suspect, they used you. Marina felt sick. Elias has no idea, does he? He thinks he's fighting for justice. For our father. But he's just a pawn. We're all pawns, Luciano said quietly. In someone else's game. Marina turned to face him. Why didn't you tell him the truth? Why didn't you show him what really happened? I tried, Luciano said. After he joined the obsidian circles. I sent messages. Tried to meet with him. But they'd gotten to him too deep. He wouldn't listen. Marina's heart was breaking. For Elias. For her father. For all of it. We have to tell him, she said. We have to show him the truth. He won't believe it, Luciano said. Not coming from me. Then I'll tell him, Marina said. Her voice was firm. He'll believe me. Luciano shook his head. It's too dangerous. If you go back there. I have to try, Marina said. He's my brother. He's been lied to his whole life. I can't let him keep fighting for the people who killed our father. Luciano stared at her. His jaw tight. Then he nodded. He said. But I'm coming with you. They'll kill you. Let them try. They went back the next night. Just the 2 of them. No weapons. No backup. Just the truth. The compound was quieter this time. Fewer guards. Fewer lights. Like they were expecting them. Marina walked to the gate. Knocked. A guard appeared. Looked at her. Then at Luciano. I need to see my brother, Marina said. Please. The guard hesitated, then spoke into a radio. After a moment he nodded. Opened the gate. They walked through the compound. To the same building. The same cold room. Elias was there. Waiting. His face was hard. Angry. You came back, he said. I came back for you, Marina said. To show you the truth. I know the truth, Elias said. No, Marina said. You know what they told you. But it's not real. He pulled out the files. The photos. The police reports. Laid them on the table between them. Our father wasn't killed by Luciano, Marina said. He was killed by the Obsidian Circles. Because he found out what they were doing. Because he was going to expose them. Elias looked at the documents. His face didn't change. Those could be fake, he said. They're not, Marina said. Luciano was there that night. He tried to save Dad. He killed 2 of the men who attacked him. But he couldn't save him. Elias's hands clenched into fists. That's a lie. It's not, Luciano said. His voice was quiet. You were there, Elias. You saw me. But you were just a kid. You didn't understand what you were seeing. Elias looked up. His eyes were filled with tears. And hate. I saw you standing over my father's body, he said. I saw the gun in your hand. Because I just killed the men who shot him, Luciano said. I was trying to help. Liar, Elias shouted. You're a liar. You killed him. And now you're trying to twist the truth to save yourself. Elias, please, Marina said. Tears streamed down her face. Look at the evidence. Look at the dates. The names. It's all there. Elias looked at the papers. His hands shook as he picked them up. Read them. Marina watched his face. Saw the moment the truth started to sink in. No, Elias whispered. No, this can't be right. It is, Marina said gently. They lied to you. They used you. They turned you against the one person who tried to protect us. Elias dropped the papers. Backed away. I've been working for them, he said. His voice was hollow. For years. I've hurt people. Killed people. All because I thought. His voice broke. Marina walked over to him. Took his hands. You didn't know, she said. They manipulated you. They used your pain. Your grief. It's not your fault. Elias looked at her. Then at Luciano. His face was filled with agony. I can't undo what I've done, he said. No, Luciano said. But you can help us stop them. You can make it right. Elias stared at him for a long moment. Then he nodded. He said. I'll help. The door burst open. Armed men flooded the room. A dozen of them. Guns raised. The gray-haired man from before walked in. He looked at Elias. Then at Marina and Luciano. He smiled. How touching, he said. A family reunion. But I'm afraid it ends here. Marina's blood went cold. They'd walked right into a trap. And this time there was no way out. The gray-haired man walked closer. His smile was cold. My name is Victor Kane, he said. And I've been waiting a very long time for this moment. Luciano didn't move. Didn't flinch. But Marina could see his jaw tighten. What do you want? Luciano asked. Everything, Kane said. Your territory. Your connections. Your life. But most importantly, I want to watch you lose everything first. He gestured to his men. They grabbed Elias. Dragged him away. No. Marina lunged forward. But a guard caught her. Held her back. Don't worry, Kane said. Your brother will be fine. As long as he remembers who he really works for. Elias looked at Marina. His eyes filled with regret. I'm sorry, he mouthed. Then he was gone. Kane turned back to Luciano. You have 24 hours to surrender. Your businesses. Your holdings. Everything. Or I start killing everyone you've ever cared about. He looked at Marina. Starting with her. Marina's heart was pounding. But she forced herself to speak. You need us, she said. Her voice was steady. Strong. If you kill Luciano, you lose access to half the city. His connections. His supply lines. You'd start a war you can't win. Kane raised an eyebrow. Bold words from a waitress. I'm not just a waitress, Marina said. I've been inside your operation. I know how you move money. How you communicate. How you think. Kane's smile faded. Is that so? The coded messages, Marina continued. The coordinates. The fake invoices. I decoded all of it. And I can do it again. Kane stared at her. Then he laughed. You think you're valuable to me? I think you're scared, Marina said. Because if we walk out of here, we'll dismantle everything you've built. The room went silent. Kane's face went hard. He walked up to Marina. Close. Too close. You're smart, he said quietly. But not smart enough. He nodded at his men. Take them to the holding cells. Let them think about my offer. Guards grabbed Marina and Luciano. Dragged them down a hallway. Through metal doors. Into a cold room with concrete walls and no windows. The door slammed shut. Marina and Luciano were alone. Marina leaned against the wall. Her whole body was shaking. We're going to die here, she whispered. No, Luciano said. His voice was firm. We're not. How can you be so sure? Luciano pulled out his phone. The screen was cracked. But it still worked. Because I made a call before we came here, he said. Angelo knows where we are. And he's bringing everyone we have left. Marina's eyes widened. You planned this. I planned for the worst, Luciano said. And hoped for the best. He typed something into his phone. Sent it. Then smashed the phone against the ground. Destroyed it. What did you just do? Marina asked. Sent our location, Luciano said. And told Angelo to hit them hard. Before they're ready. Marina's chest tightened. That's still a war. It was always going to be a war, Luciano said. From the moment they framed you. From the moment they took my men. This was inevitable. Marina sat down on the cold floor. Pressed her hands to her face. I don't want more people to die, she said. Luciano sat down next to her. Neither do I. But sometimes we don't get a choice. They sat in silence for a long time. Waiting. Listening. Then they heard it. Gunfire. Explosions. Shouting. Luciano stood. Walked to the door. Listen. They're here, he said. The door burst open. Angelo stood there. Blood on his shirt. Gun in his hand. Let's go, Angelo said. They ran. Through the chaos. Through smoke and gunfire. Marina's lungs burned. Her ears rang. But she kept moving. They made it outside. Into the night. Into waiting cars. Drive, Luciano shouted. They drove. Fast. Away from the compound. Away from the war. But Marina knew it wasn't over. It had just begun. They regrouped at a different safe house. This one was bigger. More secure. And filled with men Marina didn't recognize. Luciano gathered everyone in the main room. Laid out maps. Documents. Photos of the Obsidian Circle's operations. We have one advantage, Luciano said. They think we're broken. Scattered. They think we'll surrender. But we won't, Rico said. He stood in the corner. Arms crossed. He looked at Marina. His face was hard. But not hateful. What's the plan? Luciano looked at Marina. She is. Everyone turned to stare at her. Marina's stomach twisted. What? You decoded their messages, Luciano said. You understand how they think. How they operate. You can predict their moves. I'm not a strategist, Marina said. I'm just. You're the smartest person in this room, Luciano said. His voice was firm. Final. And right now that's what we need. Marina looked around. At all the faces watching her. Waiting. She took a deep breath. Okay, she said. Show me everything. They worked through the night. Marina studied the documents. The codes. The patterns. And slowly it started to make sense. They're moving in phases, Marina said. She pointed to the map. First they hit your supply lines. Then your businesses. Then your men. They're isolating you. So how do we stop them? Rico asked. Marina traced a line on the map. We hit them where they're not looking. Their money. It all flows through front companies. Restaurants. Shipping yards. Laundromats. If we can cut off their funding, we cut off their power. Luciano leaned over the table. Studied the map. That's risky. We'd be exposing ourselves. We're already exposed, Marina said. At least this way we're on the offensive. Luciano looked at her. Really looked at her. Then he nodded. He said. We do it your way, Rico stepped forward. You're trusting her judgment over mine? Yes, Luciano said. I am. Rico stared at him. Then at Marina. His face was unreadable. All right, Rico said finally. Let's see if she's right. They split into teams. Hit 3 locations at once. Marina stayed at the safe house. Coordinating. Watching the feeds. Calling out moves. Is like a chess game. But with lives on the line. Team 1, pull back, Marina said into the radio. They're sending reinforcements from the east. Luciano's voice came through. How do you know? Because that's what I would do, Marina said. Trust me. Pause. Then Luciano spoke again. Copy that. Pulling back. 30 seconds later, a convoy of armed trucks appeared on the cameras. Right where Marina said they would. Rico's voice crackled through. She was right. I know, Luciano said. Marina could hear the smile in his voice. They hit 2 more locations that night. Took out a money laundering operation. Burned a supply warehouse. Arrested 3 of Kane's top men. By morning the Obsidian circles were scrambling. And Luciano's men were looking at Marina differently. Not as a liability. As a leader. 3 days later Kane sent a message. A video. His face filled the screen. You've been busy, Mr. Ferrano, Kane said. Burning my assets. Stealing my money. Very impressive. He leaned closer to the camera. But you're forgetting something, Kane continued. I still have your greatest weakness. The camera panned. Showed Elias. Tied to a chair. Blood on his face. Marina's breath caught. Surrender, Kane said. Or I kill him. You have 12 hours. The video ended. Marina turned to Luciano. Her eyes were filled with tears. We have to save him, she said. I know, Luciano said. But it's a trap. I know that too. Marina grabbed his arm. So what do we do? Luciano looked at the screen. At Elias. Then at Marina. We give Kane exactly what he wants, Luciano said. His voice was calm. Steady. Me. Marina's heart stopped. No. It's the only way. Then I'm coming with you. Luciano shook his head. Marina. I said I'm coming, Marina's voice was steel. You don't get to decide this without me. Luciano stared at her. Then he pulled her close. Kissed her forehead. Okay, he whispered. Together. Marina nodded. Together. They had 12 hours to plan. 12 hours to end a war. 12 hours to save her brother. Or die trying. And Marina realized something that made her chest ache. She wasn't scared anymore. She was ready. Ready to fight. Ready to win. Ready to protect the family she had left. No matter the cost. They had 8 hours left when Marina's phone rang. Unknown number. Her heart stopped. She looked at Luciano. He nodded. Answer it. Marina pressed the phone to her ear. Hello. Marina. The voice was weak. Shaking. But she knew it instantly. Elias. Marina's chest tightened. Are you okay? Where are you? I got out, Elias said. He was breathing hard. Like he'd been running. I'm coming to you. I need help. Please. Where are you? Marina asked. She was already grabbing her jacket. Tell me where you are. The old pier, Elias said. Near Red Hook. Please hurry. They're coming for me. We're on our way, Marina said. Just hold on. The line went dead. Marina looked at Luciano. He escaped. He's at the Red Hook pier. Luciano's face went hard. It could be a trap. I don't care, Marina said. He's my brother. I'm going. Then I'm coming with you. They took 2 cars. Luciano and Marina in the first. Angelo and Rico in the second. 4 more men following behind. The drive felt like forever. Marina's leg bounced nervously. Her hands wouldn't stop shaking. He's going to be okay, Luciano said quietly. We'll get him out. Marina nodded. But she couldn't shake the feeling in her gut. Something was wrong. They arrived at the pier. It was dark. Empty. Just old warehouses and broken-down boats. Marina got out of the car. Looked around. Elias, she called out. Her voice echoed across the water. Nothing. Elias. Marina shouted louder. Where are you? A figure stumbled out from behind a shipping container. Thin. bloodied, limping. Elias. Marina's heart leapt. She started running toward him. Marina, wait, Luciano shouted. But she was already halfway there. Elias looked up. Saw her. His face crumpled with relief. Marina, he choked out. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Marina was 20 feet away. 15. 10. And then she saw the red dot on Elias's chest. No. Marina screamed. The shot rang out. Elias's body jerked. His eyes went wide. Blood bloomed across his shirt. He fell. Elias. Marina ran to him. Dropped to her knees. Caught him before he hit the ground. Blood was everywhere. Pouring from the wound in his chest. Too much blood. No, 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 Marina sobbed. She pressed her hands against the wound, trying to stop the bleeding. But it kept coming. Stay with me. Please. Stay with me. Elias looked up at her. His eyes were unfocused. Fading. I'm sorry, he whispered. Blood bubbled at his lips. I should have believed you. Don't, Marina said. Tears streamed down her face. Don't talk. Save your strength. We're going to get you help. Luciano appeared beside her. He looked at the wound. His face went pale. Marina. Call an ambulance. Marina screamed. Do something. Luciano pulled out his phone. But they both knew. It was too late. Elias's hand found Marina's. He squeezed it. Weak. Trembling. I love you, he said. His voice was barely a whisper. Tell Mom. I'm sorry. No, Marina sobbed. You're going to tell her yourself. You're going to be fine. You hear me? You're going to be fine. But Elias's eyes were already closing. His hand went limp in hers. Elias. Marina shook him. Elias, wake up. Please. Please wake up. He didn't move. Didn't breathe. Gone. Marina screamed. A raw, broken sound that tore from her chest. She pulled Elias close. Held him. Rocked him like she used to when they were kids and he had nightmares. But this time he wasn't going to wake up. Luciano put his hand on her shoulder. Marina. Don't touch me, Marina said. Her voice was cold. Don't touch me. She laid Elias down gently. Closed his eyes. Kissed his forehead. Then she stood. Her hands were covered in blood. Her brother's blood. She looked at the buildings around them. At the windows. At the rooftops. Where are you? She shouted into the darkness. Where are you? A slow clap echoed across the pier. Kane stepped out from behind a warehouse. 3 men with him. All armed. Beautiful, Kane said. His voice was mocking. Truly beautiful. The way you held him. The way you cried. Almost made me feel something. Marina's vision went red. She started walking toward him. Luciano grabbed her arm. Marina, don't. She ripped her arm away. Kept walking. You killed him, Marina said. Her voice was shaking. Not with fear. With rage. You killed my brother. I killed a traitor, Kane said. He tried to run. To betray us. He was weak. Just like your father. Marina stopped. 10 feet away from Kane. Her whole body was trembling. You killed my father too, she said. Kane smiled. I did. And I enjoyed it. Something inside Marina broke. She lunged at Kane. Didn't think. Didn't care. Just attacked. Kane laughed. Caught her by the throat. Lifted her off the ground. You're nothing, Kane said. His grip tightened. Just a little girl playing in a world you don't understand. Marina couldn't breathe. Couldn't fight. Her vision was going dark. Then Kane's head exploded. Blood. Bone. Brain matter. He dropped her. Fell to the ground. Dead. Marina gasped for air. Looked around. Luciano stood 20 feet away. Gun in his hand. Smoke rising from the barrel. His face was cold. Terrifying. No one touches her, Luciano said. His voice was deadly quiet. Ever. Kane's men raised their guns. But Angelo and Rico were faster. 3 shots. 3 bodies. It was over in seconds. The pier went silent. Marina crawled back to Elias. She collapsed next to him. Sobbing. Broken. Luciano walked over. Knelt beside her. Wrapped his arms around her. This time she didn't push him away. She turned into his chest and screamed. All the pain. All the grief. All the rage. She let it all out. And Luciano held her. Didn't say anything. Didn't tell her it would be okay. Just held her. Because they both knew it wouldn't be okay. Not for a long time. Maybe never. They buried Elias 3 days later. A small cemetery in Queens. Just Marina, her mom, and a few people from the neighborhood who remembered him. Luciano stayed in the car. Out of sight. Giving her space. Marina stood over the grave. Her mom next to her. Both of them crying. He was a good boy, her mom whispered. He just got lost. Marina nodded. She couldn't speak. Her throat was too tight. After everyone left, Marina stayed. Alone. Staring at the fresh dirt. I'm sorry, she whispered. I'm sorry I couldn't save you. The wind picked up. Pulled. Bitter. Marina wiped her eyes. Turned away. Walked back to the car. To Luciano. He looked at her. His eyes filled with concern. You okay? He asked. Marina shook her head. No. But I will be. What do you need? Marina looked back at the grave. At her brother's final resting place. Then she looked at Luciano. I need to destroy them, she said. Her voice was steel. Pulled. Final. Every single one of them. The obsidian circles. Everyone who worked for Cain. Everyone who had a hand in this. Luciano studied her face. Then he nodded. He said. We'll destroy them. Together. Marina got in the car. Closed the door. And as they drove away from the cemetery, she made a promise to herself. To Elias. To her father. To everyone the obsidian circles had destroyed. She would burn their empire to the ground. And she wouldn't stop until there was nothing left. No matter what it cost her. No matter who she had to become. They took her family. Now she was going to take everything from them. Took 3 months to dismantle the obsidian circles. And that was enough. More than enough. It was everything. We have come to the end of the story. Thank you for watching to the end. Share your opinion about this story in the comments below. I like getting feedback from my audience. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our heartwarming stories.